Hey, what is up, guys? It is Card Shuffler 99 here, and today I am going to be putting together Eric Jones's semifinal live show card trick. Basically, he did a few things with the pane of glass and a poker chip, and then he started doing a bit of magic with a big piece of glass on stage, and he basically did a version of the card through window. So I'm basically going to put this entire trick together for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. We are having a contest in August on the channel. We're giving away $80 in Amazon gift cards. So if you guys want to enter that, all you gotta do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on, and comment one time on this video what you like about the video or what you like about our channel in general. And you guys will be entered. The contest is ending at the end of August, so be sure to get your entries in. And anyway, let's get straight into the reveal here. So I'm basically going to take it step by step through each little bit of the trick. So first we're going to start out, I guess, with the card trick. So basically what he's going to do is he's going to have Howie select a card, okay? And he's basically going to have Howie sign the card, select the card, and he's going to have Howie lose the card in the deck. Now, what's actually happening here is Eric Jones is actually forcing a card. Now, the reason you can tell that he's actually forcing a card is because typically if you're going to have someone, have a free selection, basically they can, sign any card and basically select any card they want, there's never going to be a point in the trick where the magician says, touch the back of any card. The second someone says, touch the back of any card, you know they're forcing it. So what he does here, and you can actually watch it very slowly if you actually go through the motions basically, he's not actually handing Eric Jones the card that he touches, okay? So that's something that you have to understand. He's not actually giving him the card that he selects. So this is what he's actually doing. He's using a version of the Cult Force. If you don't know what the Cult Force is, basically as he spreads through the deck here, he's going to be pulling this card off with the back of his hand just like this. And basically as he spreads, once Howie touches the card, so let's say Howie touches, say, this card right here. Okay, so let's say Howie touches this card. You can see Eric Jones, what he does, because he called this card here. Okay, so once again, he's here. The Force card is on the bottom, in this case the Four of Spades. He's pushing over. He's calling the card by basically pulling this card over. It's right here, and basically he's bringing it to the edge of this packet, okay? Now, basically, when Howie touches the cards, so let's say he touches this card here, he separates the packets, but when Howie's touching the card, you can actually see what Eric Jones does is as he brings it back together, he's actually putting this card on top and giving this card to Howie. Now, you have to watch it very closely, but basically you can literally see Howie with his finger on this card, Eric Jones bringing this together and going just like that and saying, go ahead, take your card. Now, what Eric Jones does is he's going to draw an X and a line. So why is he doing this? Now, something you need to understand, now that he forced the card, he's going to need sort of a duplicate. How is he going to do this? He's actually going to forge Howie's signature on a separate card, a duplicate card, before the trick even starts. And this card's going to be in his pocket. Now, I'm going to show you a couple screenshots here from the actual trick. So this here, okay, is the actual card that Howie signed. So you can actually see here, this is the card that Howie signed, and what I want you to notice here is that the signature actually goes below the line. So you can look very closely there. The signature is going to go below the line. You can see there's a little curve underneath the line there. This is what the card is that Howie's signing. And you can see he made a line here because he wants Howie to basically sign it horizontally so it kind of matches his set of card that he has in his pocket, okay? The card that he actually pulls through the window is not going to be the same card that Howie signed. It's actually the duplicate. And if you look here really closely, if I can get the camera to focus up there, the signature does not go below the line. It's actually a completely different signature. Let me show you this angle right here. Okay. So you can see there the signature is actually not going below the line. And in fact, the signature is completely horizontal right on the line. This is something Howie did not do. Howie actually signed it kind of diagonally, I guess you could say, so he didn't really follow the line. And that's what Eric Jones was trying to avoid the whole time. He drew the line there because he wanted Howie to sign on the line. Now, how can you forge the signature? Obviously, you can get Howie's signature anywhere. I'm not sure if Howie, signed anything for Eric Jones before on the show, but Howie's signature is basically going to stay the same no matter where he is. If he's, signing autographs, he has the same signature. So basically, as long as Eric Jones knows what it's going to look like, essentially, he basically just forges it. And you can literally see, I'm not sure how well you guys can see this, but the signature is completely horizontal. It doesn't go below the line. Unlike the one that Howie actually did sign, there's a little curvature underneath the line there. So it is two different cards, okay? Now, that is why Howie's basically able to put his card in the middle and completely shuffle it into the pack, because it's a completely different card. That's not the card that Eric Jones is going to be using during the trick. It is actually a duplicate card that Eric Jones is going to be using before the trick even starts. Okay, guys? So that's something that you're going to want to understand, is that he's actually going to be using a duplicate. Now, once again, all he did was the Cull Force there. Now, the second thing I'm going to explain to you guys is how he did the poker chip and the pane of glass part of the trick. So, I'm going to use this little paper towel here. This is going to demonstrate the pane of glass, and these are two magnets here. Now, as the trick starts, he's going to use these two magnets here, and these are going to basically represent the poker chip. So his poker chip is actually these two little thin chips that are stuck together with magnets, okay? So he's going to start out with this, and it's not obviously going to be this thick. It's going to appear as one chip. And what he actually does is he actually is going to basically, at one point, he's going to take them apart. He's going to bring one underneath the pane of glass and put one on top. Now, this is how they're going to stick, okay? Now, basically, all he does is he's going to take his hand, he puts it on top, he pushes it off, and as he pushes it off, now you can see that the paint or the poker chip has gone through the glass, and all that is basically there's another poker chip underneath the glass, right? And it's just, all he does is he literally pushes it off, and because they're holding it, he can now drop it into his hand. So he basically drops this poker chip into his hand, and to basically hide the evidence that there's another one up here, he just slides both hands off together, and once they slide off together, he basically connects the magnets. And at one point, when he actually slides them off, he's basically doing this. So let's say the glass was in between. He's basically sliding it off. You can actually kind of hear the magnets clicking together as he pulls them off. So once again, he has one half of the poker chip, okay, it's just like this, underneath the glass. One's on top. He shows it as if there's just one on top. To make it seem like it's going through, he just pushes his hand on top. He pulls it off. Basically, now you can see that it's basically underneath because there's one underneath. He drops it down because Mel B and Heidi are holding onto the glass pane. And to basically get rid of this evidence here, he just basically pulls the entire thing off just like that, with his hands basically sliding off the glass pane. And just like that, he just made the poker chip go through. And this is basically going to be the main idea of his entire trick, is that he's going to make things appear through the glass. So from here, what he's going to do is he's going to go up to his giant piece of glass, and he's going to basically have Howie spread the deck on top. Now, keeping in mind that he did use a duplicate, it doesn't matter where the card is in the deck, okay? It really doesn't matter. Because he's going to use a palm position. So basically, if the card were in his pocket, he's going to palm the card out just like so. And basically, all he's going to do is pretend like he's pulling it through the glass. So let's say this was the glass right here. Howie's basically going to go ahead, he's going to spread the deck all over the glass, and all he has to do essentially is take the card from palm position. He's going to take the card and he's going to put it up against the glass, okay? So let's say all the cards were basically, this is what I'll do here, I'll basically spread the cards just like this. So let's say this was the cards, this is the glass right here. This is basically Eric Jones. So he's right here, he's got the card right here. He has the camera, make sure he, knows where the camera's supposed to be. So he's going to put it up against the glass, and he's going to basically, start curving it and basically pretend like he's taking it out. Now, the camera is to his left, so what he does is he's going to actually pull the left side out just like this, so it basically looks, and it gives the illusion that when he pulls it out, it's actually, because the camera's on this side, it actually looks like he's actually pulling the card through the glass, okay? Once again, if you saw the screenshots, once again, I'm not sure how clear they were in the actual picture, so if you couldn't really see it through the pictures I showed you, be sure to check out the actual performance. They are actually different cards. He did just forge the signature. So once again, you're in this position here. All he's going to do is basically he just palms it out of his hand. He's going to put it here. Knowing where the camera is, he's basically going to lift up on that spot, and he's basically going to pretend like he's pulling it out. Now, Howie and everybody, they can't really see what's going on, obviously, because all the cards are up against the glass, so they can't see exactly what's going on. So that's going to help him with the trick, essentially. So there is the last part of the trick where he does have two holes through the glass, and he's basically going to put his hands there, and Howie is going to hand him a curtain, and essentially he's going to travel through the curtain. Now, if you didn't see, underneath the glass pane in the middle, there is a little gap. There's like a pretty big gap, a significant gap there. Now, essentially all he needs is when he basically pulls up the curtain, the one mistake he does make is that at one point you can completely see his hands disappear. If his hands were to stay visibly the entire time, and then he would just drop it down, he would be in front of the glass, that would be a piece of magic right there. That would be pretty cool. The problem is, at one point, his hands disappear, and all you can see is the curtain standing up. At that point, we don't know what's holding up the curtain. It's not Eric Jones. At the time, it could just be two poles that are holding it up. You could see there was that big black box underneath, so anything could have been holding it up. It could have been another person that could have just slipped in under the box after Eric Jones made his final escape, I guess you could say. He basically, all he had to do was literally crawl under the gap that the glass had. So if you look carefully, there was a gap there. So all you had to do was crawl underneath. It was either a pole or another person holding up the curtain at the time. And that was literally the entire trick. So let me know down in the comment section if you agree. I mean, for the most part, I do pretty much know that this is the exact method he used. Reason being, you could literally see the cards were completely forged. That's why he had him touch the card, not just select any card, and he had an X and a line there because he needed him to sign it on that specific spot. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And this is Card Shuffler 99. Peace out.